Welcome to the instructional handover video for this brand new Laika Ecovip 3019. I'm going to take you around the outside first, then we'll move on inside. So we're based on the Fiat cab. It's on an automatic 2.3 140 and it comes as standard with the Dolce Vita edition with alloy wheels. The awning, to which I'll send you a separate video, this is the Fiamma awning. We then have access into the underfloor storage area, so you'll see that the storage goes all the way underneath, or you've got a smaller area just above. There's a little light to turn on, which just turns on and off with a little switch just around the corner here, just on the top. So it turns the light off and on, so that will give you light in that area. And we just close it by twisting it and slipping that handle there. Now, there's one key that does all the external lockers, and the door will shut remotely with the central locking with the Fiat key. So we've got the larger auto door and we've got an electric step to gain access into it. Behind that we have the toilet cassette, and to remove this we lift up the handle, slide it out, remove the little grey collar, use the little orange circular button, which is the vacuum button, to empty any items that are in there, clean it out, push it back in, and then you will be able to then put your liquid back in there to use it going forward. Now you must have your blade valve in the correct position, and I'll show you how to do that later in the video. Mains plug-in point can be found just there, so this is giving power into the vehicle, and then we've got access into the rear garage area. Now on this particular model you'll see there's a little switch here which gives us basically the option of draining our fresh water, our wastewater tank electrically. So you just press it down to drain, you'll hear the motor kick in, and then press it up to close it, to allow you to use the wastewater and hold it in the tank. We've got the light switch above, which will turn on the lights in the garage area, and then we've got a mains plug-in point in this position as well. It's also heated, so you'll see the vents in the vehicle, and you will find your pump and your filter just in this little lockable compartment here. And in the next compartment you've got some storage space there as well, which is opened by pressing the buttons. Comes with carpet as part of the addition, and we've also got the little rings for securing anything in this garage area. So to close the garage door, just firmly press it and then twist that, and then it will press in and lock in place. On the back of the vehicle, we've got the newly designed back. We've got the camera up on the high brake light just up there. And then on the passenger side, we've also then got another smaller access into garage area, and you will see then we've got little storage pockets, again heated in here as well, and another area which is accessible from inside as well as outside. So lock these in place before moving away, and that will secure it. You'll see the winding handle that's supplied with it is also in there, and you do get a centre rafter with it. So again, to lock it in place, just twist it round just like that. Filling up the fresh water, it fills up using the blue cap, so remove that using your key, fill it up with a normal hose pipe, and I'll show you when we go inside. There's a little valve that you'll need to close to fill up the tank and empty to open, so I'll show you that once we go inside. It's in one of the underfloor storage compartments. Next to that is the factory fitted barbecue point, again part of the additional pack, so already fitted from factory. We then have your fridge vent covers just there, and then we have an external shower point, so you do get this as standard as well. So hot and cold once you set it with your water, again clearly marked it's showered. Gas locker area will fit into 6 kilograms or a maximum to 11 kilograms. You have the regulator at the top, and it does come with a propane hose from new. These are sort of dated, so they won't last forever, but you do get supplied one from new with all the Laikas. You'll see that there's manuals in there and boxes that are supplied with the head unit that's fitted, and we'll come on to that when we get inside. In front of that we've got the vent for the truma heating, so it does clearly say on there it does get warm, so just be careful with that. The big locker in front of that then will give you again access to underfloor storage. Again, it's heated into this area, and to the right of that we've got a little light switch. It has got a little USB charging point on there as well if you needed it. But then to the side of that and above it, we've got all your main controls. So we've got the big box here is your battery charger. We've got all your main fuses, and then we've got a large fuse just down here. We've also then got a frost protection valve. So this is what you will need to open and close when you're wanting to fill up the heating system. So at the moment, with the actual diamond shape at the top pointing towards me and the button out, that would empty the boiler of any water that was in there. To fill it up, what you'll need to do is just twist that around and then push in the little blue button just like that. That will then stop any water coming out of the boiler and going out underneath the vehicle. So that is your frost protection valve, which you will need to do when we're trying to run the hot water on this particular model. Now, most of your items are in there, so check if any fuses have gone. Revert to your manual if you're unsure on anything in that respect. And then again, that just closes just like that. In front of that, we've got the diesel filler point and the AdBlue. So the AdBlue will take up to 15 litres. Will need to be topped up on a regular basis. Into the cab area, we've got bonnet release catch, just found there. Batteries on all the Fiats are located underneath the panel, and you are supplied with a little toolkit just in there from Fiat. We've got glove box. We've got another glove box at the top. And generally, this is cooled as well in here. And we've got Remis cab blinds on both the side windows. And again, if we pinch this together, we've got them located on the front window. So that will screen off the cab area in an evening for you. Just gently click it back into place. Bonnet wise, you'll find it just above the Laika badge. Lift up the bonnet, there's a little yellow lever there to lift up. The main things in here are you've got your screen wash to the left hand side, your oil and your dipstick. We've got a negative terminal here and a positive terminal just down here, should you need it. So, that's the outside of the vehicle done. Let's move on inside. So, before we go in, we've got a bin, we've got a blind, and we've got a flat screen. So, all encompassing it in the Hartel door. Little button here that just opens will give you access to that space, which is from inside or outside. And then we've got the step, so press the button up, that'll detract the step, press it down, and that will put the step out. The two other lights are your little welcome lights, so lower lights there, and the light above just there. And then we've got, again, some more ambient lighting with that switch, and again with the other one just there. So there's several light switches which will operate different areas within the van. We've got your TV bracket, which is part of the kit, and then just discreetly up in this corner here we have a aerial point and a twin USB charging point. Once I drop the bed, I'll show you in more detail that. The main control panel can be found just here, and I'll just show you how to work that. So to turn it off, you'll press and hold the power button. To turn it on, you do the opposite. So press and hold that, and then the power will come to light. You've got your lights within the vehicle. You've got your awning light. You've got your auxiliary, and you'll see every time I press something, it will illuminate. The auxiliary will, once pressed, will allow that USB point, if you see, just to come on for you just there. So again, turning it off, press and hold it. Turning it on will bring all the power to the vehicle. What you've also got then as well is you've got the option then of your battery levels, water levels, and then programmable options in there. So pretty straightforward really, in wanting to know to turn the water pump on, turn that button on. Please don't run the pump on when there is no water in there, as it's clearly shown there. It will affect the pump. But that is your main controls for the vehicle. The side of it is the heater, and I'm just going to show you first of all where to open and close the fresh water. So that can be found underneath the forward of the two hatches here. So that is here. So again, telling you the direction to open it and the direction to close it, and that is the little black wheel at there. So you've got to keep it closed, will allow you to fill up the water, and open will allow the water in the fresh water tank to drain away when you're not using it. Also in this area we have got another access, mainly for our technicians, for the sensors on the water tank. And then we have a storage area underneath here. To get this back in, you just press that down, just watch your fingers, and just slide, and there's one on either side. There, and just slide it back in. We've also got more storage in the top compartment, and above here we've got a drawer for your belongings, just there. Push it in to close it, push it in to open it. Again, a large storage area just in here. And then under this one we've got a hanging rail, we've got some more shelves, and at the back we've got the main RCD box. So the little orange button you'll need to press if you don't think you're getting power into the vehicle. That will rock that little rocker switch and tell you. If you press this and nothing happens when you're plugged into mains, you're not getting power to the vehicle. If you press it and it does trip down, then it's one of the fuses which is in that locker area outside the vehicle I showed you earlier. So lock it in place just there. We've got a couple of light switches which will do the ambient lighting and the main light in this area, which is just found just underneath there. The beds are on slats, and again we have a central area here which you can either use or remove. Either side of the bed you've got a twin USB charging point. You've got your own down lights to either side with light switches just there. Again, these incorporate USB points as well for charging. To open the lockers, you just literally lift up the little silver frame, and that will give you access into these panels. Again, we've got storage here, and these two front ones will lift up as well for your belongings on both sides of the vehicle. So nice and neat there. We've also got tucked away under here, should you want to watch TV in the rear, an aerial point and a 12-volt charging point just in there. The roof lights. So the roof lights will open by pressing down on the button here, sliding up. They do come with a main blind and a fly screen as well. Remember, when you're driving off, to make sure that that is pushed above, and that will lock in place. And this is the same both in here, in the middle area, and the one underneath the actual drop down bed. The blinds themselves have both a fly screen just there and a blind on there, so you can decide which way to release it. Just pinch it and that will open up. You've got the netting which you can pull up using the drawstrings at the side if you don't want the nettings, and that will allow you to just have more light coming into the vehicle. The door between the bedroom area and the bathroom area can be closed off by closing it just there, and again you've got some little hanging spaces for your towels on there. Into the bathroom area, the light switch can be found to the right hand side, and that will then illuminate in here. We've got a window in here, and again, following the little buttons, push to give you access into these areas. You just need to lift it out, and that will then give you access to storage. Again, push that down and that will lock in place. Pull that away and that gives you more storage to this side. We've also got in this area a plug socket, and your toilet is located to the left hand side. Flush button being the big blue button on the top, and the indicator on the top left will then indicate if the toilet is full. So I mentioned about the blade valve. That is the valve at the top, and the sliding bracket is just here. So when it's at the front of the vehicle, it will be closed. When you slide it to the back of the vehicle, it will open it out. So it's got to be in that closed position for you to be able to move the toilet cassette out of it. Now when showering, that one will need to be turned all the way around. And we also have storage for your toilet roll holder just in there. So to move the unit around, we'll need to just push in this little button here, and then carefully slide it around until it magnetises just on the top little brackets here on the top, and again that will hold it in place for you just there. You can see then that there's a magnet on the edge here, and that will magnetise using the magnet that's fitted into this actual screen here, which will stop the door from getting wet. In here we've got a little Hecky roof light similar to the one I've shown you in the back, and we've got a hanging rail for your towels, mixer taps and shower holders just there, just like that. It then will close and make sure it locks in place just like that. We've got a soap holder and your toothbrush holder just there. So that's the bathroom. Above the fridge we've got a storage area, and then we come to the Thetford fridge, which we turn on using the little button here, and that will illuminate the area. It's an automatic option, so if you're plugged into mains as I am at the minute, it will automatically search that option. To get it off that, you then press and hold that button, and that will allow you to manually either select the electric, the vehicle battery when the engine's running, so it won't work when the engine's not running, so bear that in mind, or gas when you're not hooked up to mains and you're wild camping and your engine's not turned on. Or, like I say, automatic, which it will then go on that function. Click the square button again and it will move us over to the temperature, which you change by using the up and down buttons to decide whether you want it colder or warmer. Once you press that again, it will then select the options you have chosen. Once you open it up, there's a little light, and on the unit itself you've got a freezer compartment and a main fridge compartment just there. Turning it off, press and hold it for about 3 seconds and the lights will all go off. You can double check that by making sure when you open the door that the lights that can be found underneath here are turned off. So that's that. Lower down we've got a little storage area where all your isolation valves can be found. So here we've got from right to left your fridge, your boiler and your cooker. Under here we've got a little bit of storage, little hook for your tea towel. We've got the option of the 3-burner gas, hob and grill. So again, you've got your grill to the right, it's either on or it's off, and please leave that open when you're grilling. Your oven option then turns to the left and you've got either 1 to 6 turning up the temperature, 1 being the coldest, 6 being the warmest. The igniter is just here and that ignites all the hobs on the top. You've got 3 and they're clearly marked at the front, 1, 2, 3. Large flame, little flame, off to the top. So pretty straightforward that one. I think we're all used to using gas cookers. Please make sure, as the sticker clearly states, you allow it to cool down before you shut that hob. Kitchen area has both a separate draining area and your main washing up area. The taps themselves are clearly marked hot and cold, so you'll need to just move that around depending on how cold or hot you want it in this area. Underneath here we've got an extractor fan, that's the switch to turn it on, and then an additional light as well as a main socket for any belongings you want to plug in. The kitchen, just like the back areas, lift up that and that'll give you access to your storage. This particular model has a drop down bed. We pull it down by just pressing the button. Now one thing you'll have to do is remove any obstructions from underneath so that it doesn't foul anything, and again make sure that there's nothing large on the table. If there is and it does start to move position, just move anything out of the way. We've got a nice curtain that secures off and screens off that bedroom area, as well as having the hooking points for the ladders, which are just either stored underneath the bed or you can store them in your garage. We've got lights which can be turned off just in that area there, and we've got 2 more lights in the front which your switches are either side. The little black strap points are for the security nets, and they will strap up both on the back side just there to stop anyone from falling out of this bed area. Large opening roof light, again this is the heck here as I've shown you in the video previously. We do advise in the winter months, if you're not using the vehicle, just drop the bed down from the full height. It'll just let this area breathe a little bit. Otherwise, just store it up just there and it will stop when it feels any force. Storage underneath here, again lifting up, that's where you will find that. These lights underneath are little touch lights, so just press them. And then we've got the other options here, which are just here. We've got the winding point for the bed, which can just be found in that hole there. So you'll get a winding tool when you come to collect the vehicle. The salesman should tick all these off with you when you come to collect, but that's where you find that. You've also got light switches in this area, which will turn off, similar to the area down here, some of the items for the ambient lighting in the van. The seats themselves have 2 travelling passenger seats. We do have an L shape. You can fold it away just as it is here. Remember as well, you've got a little socket underneath there. Or if you're wanting to travel with that L shape up, or you've not got anyone in there, it literally just lifts up, latches in place, and then you can put the seats back in place, just as I'll show you now. And then we are set up with our nice L-shaped seating area. The table will rotate 360 degrees. It will give you more space, either for the passengers, for the drivers if you're in the drivers, or to make that corridor wider moving around the vehicle. You've also got in the floor area here, this is where your leisure battery will be located. The vehicles do come with a leisure battery as standard from here. We've then got in this next one storage. So this is accessible only from the inside. And then we've got another storage area which is accessible from the inside or the outside of that double floor. Just like that. This light, again like the other one, just turns on by pressing the button, and again we've got access under here. So if I just drop the bed just a little, we'll be able to show you just in this corner here where your USB point is, aerial point, and where the solar panel regulator is located, as the vehicle is fitted with a solar panel as part of the Da Vinci edition. Cab seats adjust both front and back height, back rest place, and then also on here you will be able to then spin it round. Again, you might need to lift the bar up at the front to slide the seat forward and backwards, and it will then lock in place. To release the swivels, you'll just need to pull that handle down, and that will release the seat. It will only lock in place in the forward facing position. Again, on the driver's seat, same idea. You'll just need to move it forward of both the handbrake and the steering wheel. The steering wheel comes with the steering wheel controls. Cruise control is just this lower lever, speed limiter, and then the upper lever is the indicator. We've got traction plus, hill descent, and your hazard lights, as well as 2 points to plug in media systems to the head unit, which comes as standard. The Xenic unit has both DAB, camera, and nav, as well as having the pull-up option for a phone holder or a map holder just above in that top compartment. We also have the electric window switches and the mirror switches that can be found just there. So onto the heating. The heater controls can just be found here. So to press the unit on and off, you'll press and hold the button at the bottom. So you will then have heater controls, which will allow you then to move the little dial around. So the first option, which is flicking on the motorhome, will allow you to then change the temperature of the vehicle heating. So this is your heating temperature within inside the vehicle. The next option along is your water heater. So again, on this, turning the dial to move around, we've got Eco, which is slowly up to temperature, Hot, which is fast up to temperature, and this is on the water, or Boost, which takes all the power away from the heating to get you up to temperature on the water as quickly as possible. If you're wanting to run both the heating and the hot water, you'll need to have this to hot. Or again, in the middle, if you've not got water in it, then you'll need to flick it off, as I'm going to do in this demonstration. The next option along then is the actual power that we're trying to use. So EL2 is 2 kilowatt electric. EL1 is 1 kilowatt electric. Mix 2 is a mixture of gas and 2 kilowatt electric. And Mix 1 is 1 kilowatt electric and gas. Gas only will obviously just run the electric or the heating. The heating or the hot water on gas. So for this purposes, we're going to go EL1. So we've got the temperature set for the heating in the vehicle, the water heater turned off, the fuel source that we're wanting to select, and then lastly the fan speed, either eco or high. Now what you can do as well, if you want to just do the heating without the hot water, is let this run for a minute, and then it will allow you to go into it again and select the boost option. To turn the unit off, like I say, press and hold it and it will go to app. The reason it goes to app is in here on the Laikas, you will, in this compartment on here, you'll see that the vehicle is fitted with the iNet system. Now you can pair this up to your phone, which will allow you to then change the heating from your phone. It works off Bluetooth. If you want to go further afield, you'll have to get a separate SIM to do this. So that is the iNet system. And that connects through to the app just on the vehicle, just there. So when leaving the vehicle, turn it off, turn the power off like that. That will turn all the lights off in that area. So that concludes my handover instructional video for this Laika Ecovip 3019. I'm sure you will find the video helpful, informative. We look forward to your comments, but more importantly, we look forward to you enjoying your new motorhome. Thank you.